because I know some people are going to be at Carifesta, and some people are going to be at the DLP has their annual conference tonight. Okay, so members of the DLP, they're at their annual conference, which I think the Friday night is open to the public, and parts of Sunday. Okay, but it's basically a closed conference for the members of the DLP. All right. So, as you know, we represent all parties on this platform. All right. So I know what's gonna. But we gonna have a nice family time tonight. We having a nice family time tonight. Heathcliff. Heathcliff said the government doesn't want to be embarrassed during Carifest. I can understand that. I understand that, but guess what? We would all have been proud to be out there at Carifesta. We would have even said, listen, we're going to put on a whole march for Carifesta if the government was behaving themselves. You know that. If the government was behaving themselves, I would say, listen, Carl Roberts, I'm going to take care of Saturday morning for you. And we going to put on a big march for you on Saturday morning, showcasing the beauty of Barbados. But they're not behaving themselves. They're trying to be on their best behavior right now. You see? Yes, yes. Uh-huh. Yeah, well, Dudas, the one in Golden Square, with the PM and St. Vincent, that is a recent addition. Okay, so understand that is a recent addition, the one in Golden Square. All right. So understand that. Okay, and we know that. That's an addition. But we know that the same way how they had constructed a market on Broad Street so that when we were doing the cybercrime bill, we weren't able to pass Broad Street, remember? But they gave us a workaround. So I thought that we would at least got a workaround. But that did not happen this time around because they have two prime ministers. I suspect that's going to be at Golden Square, which makes sense. But I looked through that schedule up to yesterday, and that wasn't there. All right, but that's okay. That's fine. It's their prerogative to do that. That's their prerogative to do that. That's okay. I knew they might have to change something around a little bit. And we work with the police. The police has been really, really good to us. You know that. And so I'm not coming on here to blame anybody at all, because I know when the right time for us to go out, it's the right time. So we're not blaming anybody. We do understand that they're going to try to protect themselves and their reputation, because that matters. And they would not want us to be on the street with the Gonzales seeing that, and Cranston Brown, what's his name? Gladstone Brown, the PM for Antigua. Right, the one that looked like little Hitler with his with his thing there. He's kind of funny too. But we I understand that, and that I understand it. But what I want to say to the government is that we don't need to. There'll be no need to embarrass you. You would not feel like you need that people are going to embarrass you if you do the right things. But you're not doing the right things, and you're putting up a front. But very soon, everybody's going to know what you're doing. Very, very, very soon, everybody's going to know. Oh yes, they're going to know. Oh yes, they're going to know. Yeah. Okay. So guys, these things are good. They challenge us. Sandra, Michael Jilks, Marcia, this is good challenge. And you know what, Tyrone, what this does is that it causes us to stop and to make sure that our motivation is right. Right? Why are we doing what we're doing? Are we going to say we're not going to do this anymore? Because this occurred? No, 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 no. We're going to wait. We're going to wait because it's not spoiling. Our mission is still there. Our mission is still there. And so we're not, Barbados wants Barbados is in the state that it's in. Jacqueline, once it's in the state that it's in, Jacqueline, good night. We're not going to bow. We're not going to sit back. You look at the screen and you see that all of those are brown birds, right? That's something I didn't realize the last time. Everybody, look at the screen. Don't focus on typing now. Look at that screen. And one black bird. Everybody else brown. So you have 5 birds inside the cage, right? And you have the one black bird that is leaving the cage. And can you imagine how those brown birds would always make that one black bird feel as though something is wrong with him or her? Think about it. That they would let that bird feel something is wrong with it. That one bird inside there. How do you think that one blackbird? The blackbird has white under the belly, right? Queen D and John Hurley, good night. Shirley, good night. They have the white there. They have a beak. They have the eyes. They have their wings. They have feet. The only thing that's different is their color, right? And also the size. I don't know if it's from where they are, where we're viewing, but this bird seems smaller than the others. So I want you to imagine how this bird, what's going through this bird's mind, if the bird could think, and locked in a cage with these other 5. What do you think? Let me hear some of what you think. What do you think will happen to them? Yes, somebody said Mr. Tony is a blackbird that flew from the BLP. Yes, and the others are looking at him. Okay. Tyrone is saying it's freedom. But I want you to think what kind of pressure, what do you think the brown birds would be saying to the blackbird before that blackbird flew out of the cage? We're having an interactive session tonight, man. Talk back to me. Type back to me. Huh? Yes, Tony, they would harass him. They would harass him. What do you think that they would be saying to this blackbird inside that cage? Come on, talk back to me. What do you think they would be saying to this blackbird? So this one blackbird is in there. There are 5 brown birds, brown and white, and one black and white. Yes. They would discourage him, right? They want to come, but they're frightened. Yes. Thank you, Vihoy. Now, Vihoy, come to the front of the class. This is what I'm saying. The blackbird, the brown birds probably could be saying to the one black and white bird, who do you think you are? Because you know that little tiny bird inside there will be mouthing them and telling them that it's time for them to get out. You don't think that little bird in there going to be giving them pure lyrics and annoying them and harassing them? And then they would be saying, who you think you are? Who you think you are? You think it's safe to go up there? You go up there and no, let me hear you tell me. I'm not going to tell you. What could they be saying? Colin King. Come true, Colin King. You don't belong in here. Yes, Colin King. They love to think. VR, you think you're better than us. Liana Bell said, keep quiet and don't upset the apple cart. Yes. It's true, you know. Liana, it is so true. Yes. Yes, the blackbird is not afraid. The blackbird is not afraid. But what do you think the brown birds will be saying to the blackbird? VR says, we are better here than... The brown birds would be saying, we are better here than out there. That's a good one. They would be trying to convince that little blackbird we are better inside than out there. He said somebody say they want freedom. They want freedom, but they probably don't even know what it is. They want something. They don't know what freedom is. And the poor little blackbird probably inside trying to tell them. Love it, Sonny. Sonny said those that did not comply during COVID were treated like this. Exactly. Exactly. I really remember on the show, we educate, we motivate, we mobilize, we agitate. And I want you to see yourself in that cave, in that cage. Which bird are you? Are you the one saying, look at that rebel putting all of us in danger? We are safer on the inside. Where are you going? If you're hearing the sirens, that I live near to the Sam Lord's Castle, so that's the officials that's coming in from the airport. They're taken to the hotel. That's what you're hearing for Carrie Festa. Anyone who choose to go against the grain, toe the line. They're telling them to toe the line. Ah, ah. VOI said that blackbird is bossa. Y'all getting deep on me tonight. I wasn't thinking of all these things. I wasn't thinking of all these things. My husband, he put this up. We flow together. And he put this up, and like this word said, jump right in it. So we're jumping in it tonight before we do anything else. Because I want us to, our psyche needs to change, right? All of us. We're in this thing together. Nobody here better than the other. We all have our moments, right? We sometimes we feel like we're in a cage, and the people around us are telling us all these things. Let me read what you're saying. The blackbird is saying, come follow me. The size of the Vihoy, you better come teach this class. Vihoy is saying the size of those birds represent the majority. Oi, we gonna pause right there. We pausing right there, Vihoy. Isn't that a great observation? The size of those blackbirds represent the majority. It's really true. The size of the blackbirds represent the majority. Really true. That's why they're bigger. So the majority is staying inside the cage. Queen D says, I am the blackbird. Teroni say, I am the blackbird. Jacqueline say, I am the blackbird. I take my chances. The small bird. Thank you, Vihoy. Vihoy, you're teaching this class. The Vihoy said the small bird shows how very few will risk to dare others. Very few. This picture is very deep, Very few. The majority stays in the cage. And when you look at it, it seems that this one blackbird is wrong, right? But the majority, so sometimes when you see the majority, what the majority is saying, it looks like it's right. But a lot of the times it's not so. What's Izzy saying? They'll tell him or her, you go ahead, we are behind you. Sorry. Izzy, you let me laugh out. Everybody read Izzy. Izzy say, or they will tell him or her, you go ahead, we're behind you. But when the blackbird look for them, they are nowhere to be found. Izzy, you know my people too good. Izzy. Izzy, why you don't leave the people alone? Izzy, but it's true. It's true. Oh, good night, Mavis. You come to the class late. Deborah Noel says, the blackbird is saying, it's time for me to fly out before you all corrupt my mind. Sometimes you've got to leave. You've got to leave. You could stay there, you could try to convince, but you see how big they are? Sometimes it makes sense to just go. Tony Paris says we are in a cage or barrel. Explain, Tony. Sonia Perch, good night. You're late to class, Sonia. Oh, champ. Champ. Champ, champ. Champ, champ, you champing. Champ said the cage birds are well fed. And you wrote feed, but I know what you mean. Fed. Aye. Isn't that true? The ones that keep their mouth shut, they get the contracts, they get the grants, they get the promotion, they get all of that. Isn't that true? Tony Paris says, I am that blackbird. Yes, they're frightened. The brown bird has pedigree. The brown birds have pedigree. Yes, Champ, I think is saying, I am a blackbird. I am a dove with promise of the new beginning. Now, look at Sonia. Sonia, you're all so deep. I didn't know the loyal opposition was so deep. You're all so deep tonight. Hey, we need to have more sessions like this and let you guys lead it. I love this. Sonia said, when the blackbird come together, they are a huge flock. Now, how many of you know, Sonia, you are so right, because that blackbird leaving that cage might think that they're the only one, but there might be other blackbirds out there, you know. Just like when I started out on this here, the protest marches, you know, I went out there by myself, one person with a placard, right? And then look, all of you are coming with me. Don't mind. They say, what did the senator say? It's a small little group. It's a minority group. They say, like the blackbird. We're like that blackbird loyal opposition, the minority group, and they laugh at us. But they don't know there's so much out there. We're finding our counterparts in St. Vincent, in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in Canada. There are lots of people out there like us, you know. Yes. The majority is not always right. They are afraid of losing their power. That little blackbird lost it has lost its fare. No fare. And look at them, they're not moving. They are there standing and criticizing and pointing. You see them pointing, the two at the top here? Pointing, and they're not moving. But the little blackbird moving, right? The blackbird can go as it please them, stuck inside there. Hello, Lou Frere. You're late to class. I haven't seen you in a little bit, Lou Frere. Sugarcane says the blackbird represents star leaving the majority. That's good one. Good one. But what about yourself, Sugarcane? How do you see yourself in this picture? Yes, the blackbird want to move on. You got to come out and leave them. Yes. Now, Tony's saying, the birds in the cage will stay even when the door is open for them. And I'm going to tell you a little story about this. Right? Yes, Dave, come to the front of the class. Hey, this is a blackbird here. This is a blackbird. You know that? This Crystal Haynes. Who remember what she did? Who remember what she did? That's a great example, Dave. That's a great example. That is a great example of a blackbird leaving the cage. Oh my goodness. Who remember this young lady here? Yeah, she spoke out. And Sonny, Sonny, that's how my husband said to wall to wall to wall. Everybody say wall to wall to wall to wall. Wall to wall to wall. That's the blackbird there. She left that cage. She left that cage and left the rest of them with their head in the sand. She spoke her mind. Yes? Yes, we got to remember these things, you know. We got to remember these things. Charles Paris, yes. We have to remember these things. Yes. Signature Salon said, the brown bird saying to the blackbird, you're trying to get the nation to hate us. That's what they were saying to Crystal Haynes. Those senators in there were like, oh, what are you doing? You are messing it up. You're going to let the people hate us. Right? That's it. That's what they were saying, signature to Crystal Haynes. Yeah? That's what happened. But I want you to look to see. Do you see what is around the blackbird? Look at the blackbird and look at what is around the blackbird. What is there? What is that around the blackbird? Anybody notice it? Anybody can tell me what is around the blackbird? Light. Woo! Come on now. Come on now. You're preaching. You could all take up an offering because you're preaching good. Vihoy light. 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 Oh my goodness. Light. Yes, she's a glow from heaven. Yes, light. The sun, a holy halo. Come on, guys. You're flying up into the light. The light is illumination. The light is guidance. The light is power. The light is energy. The light is strength. The light is like electricity. It's energy. It's power. It's God. It's the light. Oh my goodness. The power from within. Yes. Yes. The light is in us, guys. Yes. Freedom. Yes, Sam Igbo. Freedom. Freedom. The light is truth. The Pauline Holder said the blackbird saw the light and is moving out of darkness. Darkness is ignorance. Darkness is ignorance. You've got to educate yourselves. All of you now talking about Section 52B. We didn't know about that. If we weren't educated on Section 52B, we would not know. And that's what we do on this show. It's moving towards the light.